G'day, I'm Pete Techman Coman here at InfoComm 2025 in Orlando, and I'm on the ModusVR stand with the co-founder, Ken Bruick. Ken, welcome to InfoComm. The doors haven't even opened.
Nope. I'm excited for it.
So are we. We've got a whole busy week, a really busy week, and I'm sure you have too. Now, the reason why we're here is that if you haven't heard of ModusVR, you should learn more about it, because I can tell you, I use it for myself, and it is an amazing design tool for AV, right? But Ken has a couple of exciting announcements, but before we get to those announcements, Ken, can you tell our audience a little bit more about ModusVR and what problems it solves?
Yeah, so ModusVR is a real-time, rapid design and visualization tool built specifically for the AV industry. So if you're a project manager, sales engineer, consultant, even a manufacturer, and you need to be able to articulate and communicate your design ideas to a client, that's what you use Modus for. What sets us apart from any type of traditional 3D rendering tool really is the speed and the focus. So we can toss together like a basic conference room in under 5 minutes in a lot of cases. But then on top of that, we do a lot to visualize things like microphone pickup patterns, camera field of view, just so even your non-technical stakeholders on a project can get a deep insight, deep understanding of what they're going to get without getting lost in jargon and things like that. But the key is that it's just fast.
And that is the key, right? Like as I said, I use it on projects. I've used it on many projects for the last couple of months. And the speed that I can build a room blows people away, right? Like I just drag things in. Now, at the moment, or your first release, when we first saw you, it was back in, I think, 21 maybe at InfoComm. It might have been your first show in Orlando.
It was the first show after COVID.
Correct.
And we were the largest booth.
That's right. It was September. It was in Orlando here. And I stumbled across you guys, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And, you know, a few years on, I'm an actual user of it. Well, let's take a bit of a deeper dive into it. So at the moment, or previously, it's been a VR solution, right? So you needed a headset, right? A VR headset. So any, like a Meta or any kind of...
didn't really... basically anything that connects to a PC.
Okay, and a decent, a decent PC.
Yeah.
I run it off my laptop, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a good laptop.
It is a good laptop. Not understating it. It still needs to be powerful, but I'm just saying you don't need a supercomputer to drive this kind of thing. All right, so you put the headset on and you build the space. But and that's been really successful. However, some feedback that you've received over the years is, can I do it without a headset?
Yeah.
And I believe you've answered that question or provided a solution. What have you got?
Well, so and the reason we started with VR is because of the speed. I mean, that was always our goal. And when you're in a VR environment, things just are more intuitive, right? You're just moving things around. You immediately understand the size of things. You understand the space that's available to you. It just gives you a better first pass, a more informed design. The challenge, though, is as you've experienced, VR can add friction. And there's some people that just can't do VR for whatever reason. And so that's what we're announcing this week at InfoComm is a VR optional version of Modus. So we're launching a desktop mode where you can run it just more traditional keyboard and mouse.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Can you do a little bit of a demo for us? Show us what it...
We'll do it really quick.
Okay.
Now the other benefit, and I'll just toss this out here really quick, is VR is very computationally expensive.
Right.
It does require a lot of compute power just to power that headset. And so once we're out of VR mode and into desktop mode, that gives us a little bit of headroom to do some really impressive quality. What you're seeing right here is not a static render. This is actually a live view of Modus. So this is being rendered in real time.
And this looks even better than what I've been using. Like, I mean, people are super impressed when I show them the renderings that I've created. But this looks like you've taken this to another level.
Definitely. We now support things like natural sunlight. I can have that peek into the room here.
The client loves that. When the architects do it, they're like, "Wow, that's incredible."
Well, so and it's important too if you're talking about TV placement and everyone's experienced awful glare on a screen, but they don't always realize how bad it is until they're experiencing it. And now you can kind of warn them in advance, and it takes just a couple of seconds to move the sun around. But also, you're getting all the other traditional benefits of Modus in terms of real time and speed. Just bringing things in, like you mentioned, is all drag and drop. And so it's very fast, very intuitive.
So basically you have a library of products, AV focused.
Yes.
However, you also have architectural elements. You've got different wall types, partitions, ceilings, carpet. You've got furniture. You've got, I mean, everything you need to to build a space.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we were talking before our interview, we're always increasing the library, we're adding new manufacturers, but we also have to add things for the equipment to go on.
Yeah.
You can't just have a TV in a room, you need to have furniture.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we also work with a lot of great furniture partners as well, just that the integrators in a lot of cases can sell that furniture and spec it, but also sometimes you just need a couch.
Yes.
Otherwise the room looks weird without a couch.
I know, yeah.
And so we do everything we can to help facilitate that, tell a good story.
Yeah.
But then all those things are very dynamic, very flexible, so that and that's the whole pitch here, is it's so fast you can do it live with the client.
Yeah.
So as a client says, well, what if we got a different couch? Okay, well, let's toss something in that's
or
a
even
different
change
size
the
and see
color
what
of it.
happens.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I love, I love so many things about the product, but, like if I'm creating a LED video wall, for example, and then we maybe it's a bit too small, I'll make it bigger. Bang, just drag it, done, right? And then you can also throw content on there as well, right? Once again, a big black screen looks pretty boring on a wall, right?
Yeah.
Throw content up there.
Yeah, well, and especially where, the content is so important in these rooms. And that's why you see Zoom and you see Teams and you see WebEx and all of these important
Excel
players.
spreadsheets. And,
and so we provide all that content so that you can tell the story and inform the client, because it's one thing just to show ABC on the screen.
Yeah.
But then to be able to put the client in the CEO spot, maybe it's the far end of the table, and then put up a Teams call where the PowerPoint presentation might only be a small part of that display.
Yep.
That's a lot of important context that they're seeing. Yeah. For us to be able to swap that out quickly and say, well, maybe you don't want to do front row. Maybe you want to do just a gallery view. What's that going to be like? Yep. Just being able to tell that story quickly without actually having to set up real equipment, it's valuable.
It's a great tool for the client, right? Because quite often they struggle to visualize what the space is going to look like and feel like, and now you can do that. So I noticed, this is the desktop version that you're using at the moment, so no headset. Yeah. And it looks kind of similar, really, to the VR version where you were just dragging product in.
Yeah, the workflow translates really well to desktop mode. You can still just kind of navigate around the space. Yeah. See whatever you want from any angle.
Fly through it.
You can
That's amazing.
Put the content on the displays. Let's see, I'm not sure exactly what we're set up to show here. Do we have anything on these? We'll try. We'll just play it on everything.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's
we've
awesome.
got some content playing in this room.
And even the cityscape feature that you have as well, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're putting windows in a building and then you have this cityscape, once again, to try to give that look and feel. You have vending machines there? Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well,
oh, my God.
It's all about populating the space, right?
This is incredible. I think this is going to be a huge hit for many reasons. As I said, I use the VR. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm seeing this for the first time, and I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. Because I tend to travel with my headset, and it's bulky, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and what I'm finding, we're discovering what it's like to use this as well. Yeah. Modus's very first iteration was a prototype in 2016.
Yeah,
so we're learning
You've
about
been at
what
it
we've
for a
built
while.
as well.
Yes,
a little bit.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing in my own personal use of it is I do a lot more in desktop mode. Yeah. But I still validate in VR. Sure. Because we did the first pass of our booth in desktop mode. Yeah. And then we threw it all in there. Yeah. And then we hopped into VR and said, oh no, this space is too small, this space is too big, let's adjust things, because you still get so much information out of VR. Yeah. But now you get a lot of convenience out of desktop mode, so you can have your cake and eat it too.
This is incredible. I love it. I love it. Mate, we could talk for days on this. So I really love it. And I said, I think now that you have this desktop version, a lot of that resistance that may have been there from a VR perspective, like learning VR, like the basics of VR, and so you don't need any of that. If you can use a computer, then you can use Modus.
Yeah, I think we'll have a lot of complete desktop-only customers coming out of this. And what's really exciting is with this, so we're announcing the beta program. Right. It's going to be in beta for a little while. Mm-hmm. It's going to be open to the public. Right. So anyone can sign up to try it out. We'll be doing a couple webinars and things and trainings and all of that just to let people take it for a spin, because before the barrier was so high. You had to have so much stuff. Yeah. But now, cool. Come give it a shot. Just head to our website and there's a sign up link right at the top.
What's the website?
ModusVR.com. ModusVR.
ModusVR.com. That's easy. And if you're at InfoComm, make sure you come down and see Ken. Patrick's here, I believe. Riley might even be here as well.
Yes.
There's a few at the
He's on his way.
whole Modus team is going to be down here. It is an incredible product. You need to see this to believe it. Check it out, ModusVR at InfoComm 2025.